Alright, it's on with the nightlife mission in Bus Simulator 18. Now I'm about 75% the way through my career mode at the moment, so the missions are starting to get a little bit more challenging. This particular one, it's to work out a route from the central bus station through the ring road in around the Old Town, taking passengers from the Old Town district north of the river to the Old Sawmill nightclub, presumably on a Friday or Saturday night. So it'll be interesting to see how this simulated bus run compares to a real late night bus run on a Friday or Saturday night. I don't think we'll be having anybody throwing up or getting into a punch up on the bus in this particular game. You never know. Let's see how realistic it actually is. So here we are in our, now let's see, that I've got to get this right. It's a Man Lion City CNG Bendy bus. Look at the length of that. Look at that hideously scary driver there, who must be a serial killer, I'm sure. Anyway, this is the honking great bus that we've got to get around the Old Town tonight. And I have to say, I am sweating buckets about this, because if you think you hit a lot of curbs in a normal bus, I can just imagine how many curbs and wing mirrors I'm going to be knocking off with this stonking great thing. And here's the first challenge of the night, which is just getting it in the parking bay of the bus station, because these are quite narrow even for an ordinary bus. So I'm going to have to take it right up to the edge here. This is what I've got to do, get this great big thing into that little bay, and that's a really tight corner on bay 1 as well. They couldn't have made it a better bay, could they? So let's just try and get it around this corner without scraping the paintwork off the side. Keep it up to the edge without running over a potential passenger. Hey, I've done it. Okay, and now open all five, I can't believe this, 5 doors that you've got on this bus. Obviously in the UK we don't, well, in my part of the UK anyway, we don't see these bendy buses much, and I'm not sure if they have as many doors as this, but this is just crazy. Now these guys are gone at the back of the bus, but have changed their mind and are going to buy tickets now. Now I had to keep my eye on that. If I do get distracted while doing this kind of, commentary, it's because I'm keeping my eye on a load of things in the game at the same time. And what was keeping my eye on there is when passengers sort of furtively start walking to the back of the bus, that's usually a sign that they may be fare dodgers. So let's close up all 5 of these doors and see if we can get out the station without killing anybody or causing a riot. Now, the Man Lion City CNG bus isn't the only bendy bus in the game. I think there's about 3 bendy buses. The other one I was looking at is the Iveco Urban Way 18 metre, but in essence that's just a bendy bus version of the Iveco Urban Way bus that I've been driving normally in the game. In fact, that's it across, if you look across the road there, that was one of the urban ways. So there was no point in me sort of driving this bus for this particular video, because it just, there's the challenge of it being a bendy bus, but internally, looking from the driver's seat here in the cockpit, everything would be exactly the same as the normal 12 metre urban way bus. So I thought I'd have a crack at the God, what a mouthful this name is, Man Lion City CNG bus. And it's I tell you what, it's quite nippy for a oh, right, straight away, I do not like these air brakes. Talk about spongy. I don't know if you saw it wallowing up and down there when I applied the brakes, but I'm definitely going to have to brake well ahead of time here. So that's going to be a challenge. You do kind of, I know this is just a game, But you get that sense of the weight of this particular great big bus when you start braking there. And just there, when I started up, when I put my finger or my foot on the accelerator, or my finger on the key, as it actually is, it does take a bit of while to build up that momentum of speed. So this is going to be a nice little challenge, this. Okay, so I managed to fit that in that parking bay. Do you know something? I can only just see the passengers at the back of that bus. It's not helping, it's a nighttime one as well. I mean, the bus interior is lit, but I think I'm still going to have to check anyway. Look how long this bus is.
I thought I had one.
Here you go.
You see, I didn't even see him. I was going to check the ticket of that lady in the back there. Yeah, there was another guy there as well. There's 3 people got on the bus there and I didn't see them. So I'm going to have to watch out for this as I'm going around the route, because I bet you I missed quite a few fare dodgers. Right. Now luckily, although this being my first Bendy bus mission, it could have been more challenging. Luckily, this particular route around the town, going from the central bus station on the Southern Ring Road, round by the City Hall and the main station, and then back up north again, is quite a wide ring road. So that's in my favour. What's not so much in my favour is trying to take corners in this honking great thing. Now obviously, turning left is always a little bit easier for some reason. Maybe it's because you're sat on the left and it's easier to judge spacing and things like that. But turning right, even the other ordinary sized buses, has been a little bit of a challenge, certainly when I started the game. So right, I don't have to indicate here because this is just a turn. And the other thing is, now I've been playing this game for a while, playing with a keyboard is, oh good god, those brakes, I don't know if you heard that, but they sounded like bed springs. I can imagine if I pick up any speed in this, when I get into the 60 kilometers an hour sections of the map, I'm really going to have to watch my braking distances, because these brakes are really, really spongy. You can definitely, this is quite cool, because you can definitely tell the difference between this and the other buses I've been driving in the game. Right, so turn in here. I hate these ones when there's nobody actually standing at the stop, so I just wonder if someone's going to get off here. No, nobody's getting off either, so nobody's got off and nobody's got on, but I've still had to stop. Look at that. I've just managed to get that in the space allotted for that bus stop there. So goodness knows how I'm going to manage when I get to those really small countryside stops. Alright, get the brakes straight on. It really does sound like squeaky bread springs. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is superb. Do you know, I've been really looking forward to trying. This is the ultimate challenge in the buses in this game, when you get onto the Bendy buses. As I say, I've sort of like been lucky here in the map of the first mission, because these are nice wide roads. Maybe it'll be a little bit more challenging once I get into the countryside. Plus, we haven't taken a right turn yet. It's all been left turn. So, whoa, was that a red light? Did I just go through a red light? Well, I didn't get penalised for that, so no harm done. But even at that speed, and I wasn't doing a great deal of speed, I would have been quite hard pressed to have stopped in time with these brakes. Look at that. Oh, I can just barely see them getting off the bus at the back. And that's someone just got on. Right, so I'm going to have to pay a lot of attention to this. Luckily it's not one of those missions where it's a national holiday and there's a lot of people coming on and off. Well, so far this hasn't seemed like it's a rowdy Friday or Saturday night, late night boss. So, well, I suppose this game is in Germany, so they're probably a lot better behaved over there than they are over here. I'm not having to avoid pools of vomit or anything so far, or nobody spilt their chips and kebab. That's alright. See, I'm going to have to keep doing that to check on fare dodgers. Probably a lot more than I usually. Now this is quite a interesting little turn here. I remember this one because of those two little curbs together there. You've got to watch yourself. And then there's this pothole which the developers have cunningly placed right in the middle of the road there, just as you come across. Right, we've got a nice bit of straight here now, so I should be able to pick up a little bit of speed. So that'll be interesting to see how I can stop with the brakes. Look at that. That's superb. I'm really liking that colour scheme I've got on at the moment. That's actually one of the selection of advertisements that you can put on your boss, so I'm actually earning money from that as well on the missions. But I do actually like that lime green, so if I do... Eek! I'm actually... It's a pity you can actually see me here, but I'm actually pressing down on my keyboard to brake there and leaning forward at the same time. You can probably hear me as I get close to my mic in an effort to stop this monstrosity of a boss. Yeah, I quite like that lime green. If I ever get around to actually making my own boss skins, I'll probably like to do that. And also, little note there. Now this is hang on, we'll just do this first because it's a right turn. So I'm going to swing it out a bit wide, and that's probably a bit too wide. I probably over exaggerated there, but I can see I'm going to have to... I should have put it in third person there to actually see how much space I'd got. It's going to take me quite a few right turns before I can judge these. Now, I know there's quite a few potholes up here, so I might have to stick my lights on. My high beams, I mean. Oh, I'm not sure if it's actually helping or hindering, to be honest. Oh, look at that. You can actually feel... Again, it's one of those things I'm saying, you can feel things here, even though it's a game. But that is really, really labouring hard to get up that hill in this boss. What was I doing, about 38 or something like that, coming up that hill. Okay, first stop, the Old Sawmill Club, which is across the road on the left there. But, oh, that's a disabled passenger, so... Oh, you're not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to put the ramp down. This is good because you didn't see that in my last video. So nail the boss, have the doors open, put your ramp out for the disabled passenger to get on, bring the ramp back in, close the doors, the bus unkneels, and there we go. We can just check the passengers here.
Here's the ticket.
So that wasn't bad. And he's not a fare dodger. I think I mentioned that in my last one about catching the wheelchair user who's a fare dodger in the one of my previous videos. So that's it. That's the Old Sawmill. That's the only pickup on this side of the river. So it's just a bit of a drive now through the countryside to get back to the south side of the river. So I'll probably leave my high beams on for this because it's not well lit out here. You see, that's why. Whoa! And I nearly wiped that car out. I should have checked my mirrors there. In swerving to avoid that pothole, I nearly wiped out that car who was trying to overtake me for some strange reason. So I'm going to have to watch out for these potholes. So I don't think I'm going to be building up. It's down to 50 now anyway, but I don't think I'm going to be really putting my foot down out on these not so well lit roads. Funnily enough, as I said earlier, oh, I think I said earlier anyway, I do actually like the night missions. It adds a bit more realism, and once you get into town it looks really atmospheric. It's fantastic. The one I don't like is actually, oh god, this is quite a tight one. I've got car parked there. I don't think I would have liked to have watched that in third person view, to be honest. I think I was nearly about to take his wing mirror off. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the weather that I don't like is rain in this game, whether it be at day or night, because once the road's wet, it's really hard to see where those potholes are, and you have a bad enough time trying to avoid them anyway. So I'm taking it really, really easy. I've got another right turn to go drive along the riverbank now. So again, we'll swing it out and try not to go so far. We're still taking it quite... This is going to take me a wee bit of practice, this, to judge how far to actually swing it out without actually hitting the curb on the other side. But then again, I was like that with just the ordinary size buses when I first started the game. It took me quite a while, and then I was swinging them around at quite a rate. Hopefully that'll happen when I get used to driving these bendy buses. I really don't know how these guys drive these things. I suppose it is kind of like just driving an articulated lorry, perhaps. But I'd possibly prefer driving a double decker, and that's something to bring up. Actually, it's a shame that they don't have double deckers in this game. That would be great if they had that. Now we haven't actually, for saying it's a night run to the club, we haven't actually picked up as many passengers in town, but I've maybe done the route the wrong way about, because now I'm going into the town now. I should have done the town and then going out to the club, and would have picked up more passengers that way. But anyway, so this should be interesting now, because we're actually going back into the town area, albeit the ring road that goes round the outside, so it is a little bit easier, because they're nice big wide 2-lane roads, these. Well, at least it has seemed a little bit different driving this MAN as opposed to the Iveco one, but it's still not made me a convert into being a bus spotter. They still just look like big boxes on wheels to me, I'm afraid. Right, this is a nice big stretch here, so a bit of a chance to build up a little bit of speed here. Look at that. That's my maniac bus driver there. Woo! Probably not a good idea to go into third person view when you're speeding along one of the roads here. Now this is a reasonably tricky one, because you've got to turn left, but you've got to pull into the outer lane here before you cross the lanes to get to your right crossing. We've got traffic lights, but I'll have to put it in third person to see if it's when it's changing from red to green. So I don't know if you can see that. I've pulled across into this left hand lane, then I've got to cross those 2 lanes to get to the junction that I want to pull into. I really do like driving at night. It does look really atmospheric. If somewhat quiet, and the passengers being quiet as well. Maybe it would have been nicer to have sort of a bit of a punch up starting at the back or something like that. Right, so round we go. And another tight one into the station. You see, this is what I mean, that I've possibly done this route wrong. It should have been the station last. I should have gone... I've kind of done it in the wrong direction here. I should have gone started at the station, gone through the town, gone to the Old Sawmill, and then done it on a loop coming back to the station again. So again, stop at platform 1. So... done it. Great. And you'll get a better view of the disabled driver coming off here.
finally got my
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
passion.
I must admit I wasn't concentrating on how well I was you know, well I was doing with the points here. It was more just getting round without actually causing a major incident. So that's not too bad actually. For my first run on a bendy bus. Remember to close all 5 doors, and picking up some garbage is the least of my problems. Look at that, how far back that goes. At least the interior's decent on this one, not like that last bus I was driving. It was hideous, the interior of that. Okay, not bad. There we go. Yep, no, haven't been penalised for anything. 5-star route. Well, there you go. My first time in a bendy bus, and it wasn't a disaster.